Okay, so today we're going to work on some standing jumps and some precision jumps. And these are used to cross distances and gaps when there's no run-up space. They're also very useful for taking off on rails or thin walls where there's no place to build momentum before the actual jump itself. So the idea behind the standing jump is to generate momentum from a static position by using the momentum from the arms and the power of the legs and the coordination of all the body parts. And the second part of the jump is the landing, which should always be on the balls of the feet, so the front part of the foot, landing both feet at the same time, so that if one misses, there's always one there for safety. So one of the best places to train your standing jumps in the beginning is actually on the floor, where there's no risk, no danger. And if you can find a place like this with lines on the floor, that'd be quite helpful for working on the actual accuracy and precision. So for all these standing jumps, whether you take off from 1 foot or 2, is a matter of personal preference on the size of the jump. If it's a bigger one, you're going to want to take off from 2 feet, so you can generate more power, the power from both legs. If it's a smaller one, it relies more on accuracy, or if you're jumping down onto something, you might prefer to take off from 1 foot. It's personal preference, really. So regardless of how you take off, for the landing itself, always try and land both feet at the same time on the balls of the feet and nice and quiet. The quieter it is, the less impact there is for the body. So we're starting on the floor, and my main focus is to land on the line I'm aiming for, again, on the balls of the feet, as if it was a thin rail, just to work on the accuracy for a start. You're looking for a nice trajectory in the air of going up and down onto the line rather than straight forward. This gives you more chance of staying on that landing point and not falling forwards afterwards. So the takeoff itself, the mechanics of this is very, very important. To get maximum distance, you have to have good technique. In the beginning, I'd recommend just working on propelling the body forwards and getting used to that feeling, and then trying to fine-tune it as you go on to get more distance. And it's really about working on the coordination of the lean forward, the use of the arms combined with the push of the legs, and then bringing the knees up towards the chest to give you a good position in the air for the landing. So for the first part, we're looking at the lean forwards. This is one of the biggest parts that beginners tend to miss out. They tend to jump from a very upright position, but that lean forward initiates the whole jump itself. It's one of the most important parts of the actual jump itself. So that lean forward before the push, you need to work on the timing of that. And just before the point where you actually have to put a foot forwards to stop you from falling over, that's the exact little split second that you want to push and go into the jump from. So the second part of the jump will be the actual arm swing. And this happens from the very start of the movement. The arms will start to move, and they will come from a position behind the body, and they'll be thrown forwards to generate momentum, and that's what's going to actually drag the body forwards in space. So even if I just jump up in the air and just swing my arms and only focus on going up, it will still move me forwards. And that's just from swinging the arms. So I'm not even trying to jump forward at this point. That's just from the arm swing. So if you multiply that by actually trying to jump forward and combine that with the arm swing, you'll get much more distance afterwards. So the next thing to look out for is how much you bend the legs. A lot of people waste a lot of energy by bending too deeply. So they'll start in this sort of position here and actually get too low and try and generate momentum from this position. You're going to waste a lot of energy just standing up from there. So even by coming down here, you're going to use a lot of energy just standing up before the actual jump begins. So don't bend your legs too much before the actual jump itself. So those are the main 3 focus points: the body leaning forward, the arm swing coming through to generate the momentum going forwards, and that powerful explosion from the legs. So not bending too deeply, and a very powerful contraction from the legs to straighten them and drive the body forwards. So after that final explosion of the jump, that big push, you have the full extension of the body. Once you're in the air, the next point to really focus on is driving the knees up in front of you. This is going to be bringing your body from that extended position and reaching out, where you'll be starting to slow down, driving the knees forward to get even more push and propulsion upwards and forwards, and also put your legs in a more useful position for the actual landing itself. So you'll be in this extended position here, driving the legs forward, which brings the feet in front of you for the landing. So key points for 2-footer jump would be to focus on the lean forwards. So that point where just before you're about to fall is when you should be pushing. The arm swing through, generating momentum from behind the body, throwing the arms through, combined with not bending too deeply, big powerful explosion from the legs as you drive through. And then once you're in the air, once your body's fully extended and you're starting to lose that little bit of speed, driving the knees forward and through. That's going to give you even more distance on the jump and put your legs in a better position for that landing itself. Landing, as always, should be both feet at the same time, balls of the feet, nice and soft, and a good upright posture with back straight.